Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Rule of Two Review. My name is Rob, and today I'm going to come back to an old series that I haven't done in quite a while. It's Rob Theories, episode number 4, as I discuss whether or not it's still important to win E3. So today is May 16th, which means that we are literally 1 month to the day until E3 begins. The show floor begins on Tuesday, June 16th. Of course, we know that on June 14th, Nintendo is holding their Nintendo World Championships, as well as Bethesda is actually holding their first ever E3 press conference. On Monday, June 15th, we know that Microsoft, Sony, Ubisoft, and EA are all going to take the stage as well for their press conferences. And then, of course, begins the actual show floor, which is the same day that Nintendo will also host their digital event. So here we are, a month away, give or take, until E3 starts, and whenever we get ready for E3 every year, we all start talking about and wondering about who is going to win E3. What does it mean for somebody to win E3? Of course, winning E3 seems to be handled by the majority of the press, as well as the gamers' reaction to everything that was, doled out during the week of E3, specifically the press conferences, that usually, with the exception of last year, usually that's what seems to be the factor that really makes the difference in determining who won E3, who had the most exciting stuff. And that is the key factor. Who has the most exciting thing, whose press conference or presentation seems to have the most surprises, unique game information, sometimes interviews, sometimes release dates on games that we were excited about, special bundles with consoles, all these different things. There's a lot that every single company, specifically the big three companies, Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft, try to dish out to us every single year to make us excited, want to spend our money on their products, their games, their systems, all these things. And, for some reason, we have, as a collective, as the gaming industry and as the gaming public, and I am right there with you guys, we have created this sort of culture, this game, if you will, that happens every year where we really try to determine who won E3 because we think it's really important. And it's always great if your favorite company is the one that you can say won E3 and the other guys really sucked, because we all have this console war that everyone gets involved in. And, I've certainly been there in the past. I'm not into the console war aspect myself anymore, because I love and support all the consoles and PC, which I bring up a lot because I think it's important to remind people of. But that doesn't mean that I don't still like it when my favorite company, which happens to be Nintendo, quote-unquote wins E3 like I think they did last year. But again, I don't want this to become a prediction episode. This isn't really about me talking about who I think will or won't win E3. I do have opinions and theories on that, but that's not what's really important to this episode. What I want to talk about, and I actually had a similar discussion leading into last year's E3 as well, and I kind of wanted to revisit it because I think it's a fun, relevant, important topic. What I wanted to discuss is if it still matters if a company wins E3, or what it means for a company to win E3, and if it really makes a difference in that company's perceived success. So when you look at how last year went, where the majority of people, and not everybody, so if you disagree, I don't want you to, crap your pants with anger over this. Most people is who I'm talking about feel that Nintendo won E3 last year, and I wholeheartedly agree. They did amazing. They had a brand new way to present their E3 presence with their digital event and their treehouse that streamed throughout the entire show. They had nothing but exclusive content. It all looked great. A couple of surprises. They showed us Zelda. It was amazing, and everybody, most people again, walked away from E3 saying, wow, Nintendo just brought it this year. They killed it. And although the Wii U, their home console, did perform better last year than it had leading up to that point, it still didn't really change the fate of the system, over the last years, for going from last E3 to this E3. Yes, they had some of the best reviewed and best-selling games for their system. When you look at games like Bayonetta 2, Super Smash Bros., Mario Kart 8, Hyrule Warriors, stuff like that, they had some bona fide hits. I mean, extreme hits. And the system, again, it's doing okay, but it's still not doing as well as it should. So what does that show us? That kind of shows us that winning E3, again, quote-unquote, winning E3, doesn't necessarily create the success that you would want it to create. Just because everyone in the industry starts talking about you and says, oh man, this company did so amazing, now it's time for people to start going and buying all their systems and their products. As much as that it really should be that way, and a lot of us would like it to be that way, it isn't always the case. And last year, that Nintendo showed us that. Now, on the other side of the coin, if you fast forward a year before that, which was the year that both Sony and Microsoft revealed the release dates and the prices for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, there's, almost no doubt that Sony won that E3. They had an amazing press conference. They squared off with Microsoft. Nintendo had a very underwhelming, not even the digital event. It was just like a 30-minute Nintendo Direct specific to E3. it wasn't awesome. And so Sony came out and just trounced Microsoft's announcement. They had an amazing price. They had some viral videos that were just dogging all these poor practices that Microsoft was putting in place at the time. And because of that, I mean, people were jumping and screaming and cheering at their press conference, and everyone was talking about Sony this and Sony that and PlayStation 4 this and PlayStation 4 that. And, you know, fast forward to today, how is the PlayStation 4 doing? Yeah, exactly. Phenomenally well. Better than anyone, including Sony, ever could have thought. And a lot of people, myself included, I should say myself really, what I think is happening with the PlayStation 4 as a system that is certainly good, but that does not have a great library compared to both the Wii U or the Xbox One, it's still selling so well and it's breaking all these records and it's on pace to do what the PlayStation 2 did and all these things. I'm telling you, I think that Sony is still riding the hype and success that they created at that E3 press conference in 2013, now coming up on 2 years ago as of E3 this year. So that really goes to show the power of what E3 can do if and when you win it. So you've got, you know, the case with Nintendo last year where they won E3, but it really didn't change the fortunes of their home console. The 3DS is still doing amazing. The new 3DS is like crazy popular and successful. The Wii U, great system that most people love, but still isn't flying off the shelves. So Nintendo, they're just kind of coasting. They're doing exactly what they've been doing. No better, no worse. Sony, on the other hand, you know, went from a floundering, horrible launch with the PlayStation 3 that they slowly turned around at the end of that life cycle into an amazing E3 press conference in 2013, and they've created unprecedented hype and success for their PlayStation 4 system, a system which, like I said, is very good, but still doesn't have a great library. So through these two events and a couple other small factors for anyone who's been following E3 and the reactions, you know, for many years like I have myself, at the end of the day, does it really matter to win E3? Does it make a difference? Is it smart to try to win E3? Is it good or a boost for your system and your company at all? When you look at these two factors, I'm still going to say that mostly, yes, I think it does. Now, not entirely, again, as last year proved with Nintendo, but at the end of the day, I do still think that more often than not, if you win E3, again, quote unquote, if you win it, I think that it's going to mean good things for you, because if you win it, not only can you potentially see, you know, the actual revenue and the dollar-to-dollar success that Sony saw last year, or 2 years ago, sorry, but you also can encapsulate the mind share of the industry, the gaming media, the gaming press, and gamers. And I think that goes a very, very long way, you know. Nintendo, they did have that last year, so it's a little bit difficult to explain why they didn't pick up as much as Sony did the year prior. I really don't understand what that's about because, again, it's a great system. They had a great showing, and everybody loved it last year, and they have all these great games. But you know what? Even getting all the mindshare didn't make a difference. But with Sony, when you do everything right and it's perfect and all the stars align the right way, not only do you make money and sell more units and systems, but you also have everyone thinking about you and talking about you. And if you do those things, that makes the difference. You want every cover story on every gaming website that you go to, whether it's IGN or GameSpot or Game Trailers or Polygon or Kotaku, any of these places, you want the first thing that they see the week of E3 to be, Microsoft fucking killed it. Xbox One is the best thing ever. Oh my God, look at these 2,000 new games they showed us that all look great. Whatever it may be, you want your system to be reflected that way, because then every gamer that goes there, which is millions of gamers a day, that's the first thing they're seeing and thinking, and anyone who might not own that particular piece of hardware starts to say, man, it's really time for me to own an Xbox One. It's really time for me to pick up a PlayStation 4 or a Wii U or a 3DS or whatever. You know, I need all these games for my PC. That's what you want, is people to think, I need what I don't have because at E3 they showed me why it's awesome. Now, of course, every company is going to do their best they can to bring it every year. E3 is filled with hundreds of successes, triumphantly so, and, you know, hundreds of abysmal failures. Like, hilarious things have happened, and sometimes it's actually really embarrassing and hard to watch. You know, I think that we've been on a good run the last couple of years. No one's really made a bad showing. The worst thing that happened was Nintendo's E3 Direct 2 years ago, and that wasn't bad. In the sense of content. I've said it a couple of times. The content they showed was great. They revealed Super Smash Brothers and Mega Man and Mario Kart and Mario 3D World and all these great Donkey Kong. They revealed some great things. It just wasn't exciting and it was very short. So, you know, everyone, of course, is going to try to do something amazing this year. I think that, honestly, without turning this into a prediction, I think that everyone's going to do great. I have very high hopes for every company. I think Electronic Arts is maybe the one that I'm most nervous for, because I know that they're going to show us Battlefront 3, which I can't wait for. They should be talking about Mass Effect 4. Other than that, I just don't know where they're going to go. Maybe we finally learn of other Star Wars games they're making, which I've discussed on the channel I would like to see, and I think they should show us. But as of right now, I mean, I think Bethesda's going to do great. I think Ubisoft, as much as I'm angry at them, I think they're going to have a great conference and probably a lot of quality stuff to show. And I think Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft are all going to have good conferences. Which of those big three is going to be the best? I guess that remains to be seen. Whoever it is that the gaming press and us, the gamers, dub and crown the winner of E3, will they see the success that's actually going to make a difference for that company after this? That also remains to be seen. It's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out. It always is. It's always exciting to see how it plays out, and I think that that's the most important thing for us to focus on. So, you know, that's really it. I just wanted to discuss with you guys whether or not it's still important to win E3. And although there are certainly cases where it doesn't really make a difference and it doesn't seem to matter, there's enough cases where I think it does make a difference that I like to say that, I mean, yes, it can certainly make a difference. I don't think that anyone has to win E3 to be successful, but at the same time, winning E3 can certainly mean pretty big things for your business. Okay, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. As always, of course, if you're new to the channel, please feel free to subscribe to Rule of Two Review. Like, share, comment. I definitely want to hear your guys' thoughts over this Rob theory below about E3, who might win, and whether or not it really matters for any company to win E3 anymore with how big the industry's gotten. And gosh, yeah, that's pretty much it, man. So thanks for tuning in. I'll catch you guys on another video for Rule of Two Review.